Forget everything you think you know about ancient history. This isn't just a story of politics and power. It's the story of a forbidden love that burned so brightly it forged an empire and changed the world forever. This is the story of Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. Our story begins not in Rome, but in the heart of Egypt, a kingdom shimmering with gold but teetering on the brink of civil war. The legendary Ptolemaic dynasty was in chaos. A young Cleopatra, barely 21, had been exiled by her own brother, forced to flee for her life. She was a queen without a kingdom, a brilliant mind with no one to listen. But she was also a descendant of Alexander the Great, with a fire in her soul and a plan in her mind. Meanwhile, the most powerful man in the world, Gaius Julius Caesar, arrived in Alexandria. He wasn't there for a vacation. He was chasing his rival, Pompey, to end a brutal Roman civil war. When he landed, he was presented with a gruesome gift: Pompey's head. The war was over, but Caesar's journey was just beginning. He found himself in a foreign land, caught in the middle of a royal family feud. He decided to stay, to settle the dispute between Cleopatra and her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. He saw an opportunity to make Egypt a loyal ally, a breadbasket for his growing empire. Little did he know, he was about to meet his destiny. Cleopatra knew this was her one chance. She couldn't approach Caesar openly. Her brother's forces controlled the city. She needed a way to bypass the guards, to get into the palace, to get to Caesar. So she devised one of the most audacious plans in history. With the help of a loyal servant, she was wrapped in a carpet. Some say it was a humble bedroll, and smuggled past her brother's guards. Imagine the scene: the great Roman general, in the opulent throne room of Alexandria. Watch as his servants unroll a rug at his feet, and from within emerges not treasure, but a queen. Cleopatra. It wasn't just her beauty that captivated him. It was her intellect, her charisma. She spoke multiple languages, including his own. She was educated in mathematics, philosophy, and astronomy. She wasn't just a pretty face, she was Caesar's intellectual equal. For Caesar, a man surrounded by soldiers and backstabbing senators, this was intoxicating. That night, they talked for hours. She wasn't just pleading for her throne. She was debating, charming, and strategizing with the master of the world. A spark was lit. It was a meeting of two of the most powerful minds of the ancient world. The political alliance they forged that night was sealed by a passion that would echo through the ages. Caesar, utterly charmed and strategically impressed, declared his support for Cleopatra. He ordered that she rule jointly with her brother, as their father's will had stated. Her brother and his advisors were furious. They saw Caesar not as a mediator, but as a Roman conqueror siding with their enemy. They unleashed their army on Caesar's vastly outnumbered legions trapped in the royal court of Alexandria. The war for the city had begun. For months, Caesar and Cleopatra were besieged in the palace. This wasn't a time of fear, but a crucible that forged their bond. Trapped together, they weren't just general and queen. They were partners. They planned strategies by day and shared their dreams by night. He saw her courage under fire, her brilliant political mind at work. She saw the man behind the legend, his vulnerabilities, his ambition. Their love affair deepened amidst the chaos of war, a romance born in the eye of a storm. After a series of fierce battles, Roman reinforcements finally arrived. Caesar was victorious. Cleopatra's brother drowned in the Nile while trying to escape, and she was crowned the undisputed queen of Egypt. With Egypt secured, their love story entered a new, legendary chapter. They embarked on a lavish cruise down the Nile. It was a spectacle of immense wealth and power, a floating palace designed to awe the Egyptian people and display the union of Rome and Egypt. But more than that, it was their honeymoon. Away from the prying eyes of Rome and the dangers of the court, they could simply be together. For 2 months, they sailed, exploring the wonders of her kingdom. It was during this journey that their son was born. They named him Ptolemy Caesar, but the world would know him by another name, Caesarion or Little Caesar. He was the living embodiment of their union, a potential heir to both a Roman dynasty and an Egyptian throne. Eventually, Caesar had to return to Rome, but he couldn't bear to be without her. In an unprecedented move, he invited Cleopatra and their son to the heart of the Republic. Her arrival was a sensation. She wasn't just a foreign queen. She was Caesar's mistress, living openly in one of his villas across the Tiber. This was a scandal. Caesar was already married to a Roman noblewoman, Calpurnia. For the conservative Roman elite, Cleopatra represented everything they feared: foreign influence, absolute monarchy, and a departure from traditional Roman values. But Caesar didn't care. He was besotted. He even placed a golden statue of Cleopatra, depicted as the goddess Isis, in the temple of Venus, goddess of his lineage, the mythical ancestor of his own family. It was a public declaration of her divine status and his love. An act that his enemies saw as sacrilege and proof of his tyrannical ambitions. They whispered that he planned to move the capital from Rome to Alexandria, that he would declare himself king and make Caesarion his heir, creating a new Hellenistic Roman Empire. The seeds of conspiracy were sown, watered by fear and jealousy. The senators who had once fought alongside Caesar now saw him as a threat to the Republic itself. His relationship with a foreign queen and the birth of their son were the final straws. They believed he had to be stopped. On the Ides of March, 44 BC, a group of senators, led by Brutus and Cassius, surrounded Julius Caesar in the Senate House. They stabbed him 23 times, and the most powerful man in the world fell at the foot of a statue of his old rival, Pompey. With Caesar's death, Cleopatra's world shattered. Her protector, her lover, the father of her child, was gone. Rome was plunged into chaos, and she was in grave danger. She fled back to Egypt with Caesarion, her dreams of a shared empire turning to dust. She had lost her king, and the world had lost a leader who dared to love across borders. But the story doesn't end there. Cleopatra was a survivor. She would go on to forge another legendary alliance with Mark Antony, Caesar's most loyal general. Their story, too, would become the stuff of legend. But the love between Cleopatra and Caesar was different. It was the original spark. It was a union of two brilliant, ambitious souls who found each other at a crossroads of history. Their love produced a son, a potential heir to the known world. It reshaped the Roman Republic, accelerating its transformation into an empire. And it created a legend that has fascinated us for over 2,000 years. Was it true love, or a calculated political alliance? Perhaps it was both. In the high-stakes world they inhabited, love and politics were always intertwined. What is undeniable is the profound impact of their relationship. It set in motion a chain of events that would lead to the end of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire under Caesar's adopted son, Octavian. It's a timeless reminder that sometimes the most powerful force in history isn't an army or a crown, but the connection between two human hearts. Their forbidden love didn't just break the rules. It rewrote them, leaving a legacy that we still feel today. Thanks for watching. If you were as captivated by this epic romance as we are, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that changed the world. See you next time.